Because the air is working?
Yeah, exactly. To keep us happy, maybe?
Yeah. Am I good?
You're good.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien. You too? So how's everyone's day going? Yeah, good. Me too. Good. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about child themes. We're not going to talk about childbirth in any way, but we will talk about how to set up a child theme. So just a little bit about me. I'm a front-end designer and developer at a company called LB Design. We're a global communications consultancy. I'm also an instructor for the Women's Coding Collective. I teach their WordPress basics and JavaScript and jQuery courses. And in my free time, I like to TA and volunteer with Girl Development. And a bit about you. I'm making some assumptions here, but you may manage a WordPress website. Maybe you have a blog that's powered by WordPress. Maybe you're using the default theme, but you want to customize it and put your own style into it. You want to maybe learn more about WordPress theme development. Child themes are a great way to, they can be a great introduction into WordPress theme development, as well as learning more about PHP and CSS. And the whole point of child themes is so that we can safely customize our website. So what we'll cover today, we'll talk about what a child theme is, why use a child theme, how to create one, and then we'll look at about 3 examples of some ways we can customize our child theme. So let's go. So what is a child theme? A child theme is a theme that inherits the styles and functionality from another theme. And that other theme is called a parent theme. But while it inherits those styles and functionality, it also allows us to add our own styles and override certain elements in our parent theme. Without touching any of the parent theme's code. So how many people are familiar with downloading themes from WordPress.org? Most people. So you can actually make a child theme with any theme. But the one I chose for my demonstration is the 2015. And again, you can use any theme as the parent theme. So you start with a parent theme, and you add your own customizations, either overriding what's in the parent theme to perhaps bringing your own brand colors, or maybe you have a set of icons that you've designed to go along with your branding. You can start with a parent theme that gives you a foundation, and then add on top of it with your child theme. So why use a child theme? If you've never heard this rule before, I'd be honored to be the first to tell you that never to modify WordPress theme or core files. And that's because when there's an update, you will lose all your hard work and possibly break your site, or so when we use a child theme, it prevents us from losing our changes. So we have our parent theme, which gets updated sometimes, and our child theme, which we have full control over. So there are 3 steps in creating a child theme. We first need to create a child theme folder, and then within that folder we need 2 files, a style.css and a functions.php. And that child theme sits in the same directory as any of your other theme files. So it'll be in WP content/themes, and then the name of your child theme. I named my child theme 2015-child, so that when I look at it, I can tell that it's my baby. But you can give it any name that you want. It's just helpful to see that if I delete my 2015 theme, my child theme is not going to work. So again, the 2 necessary files we need are functions and a style.css. In our style sheet, we need what's called a theme header. And there's about 11 lines of information that we can add, but the only 2 necessary parts are the theme name and the template. And the template defines what theme is our parent theme. So in this case, 2015, that's the name of the folder. And that's also the template name. And then the second part that we need to get our child theme working is a function in our functions.php file. What this does is it enqueues our parent theme's style sheet so that it inherits all of those styles, and it brings those into our child theme. Now when we go to the theme selection under Appearance, we'll see our child theme there, and we can activate it. One thing you'll notice is it doesn't have a preview. So a nice little detail is to add that thumbnail image, and it's really easy to do. We just add a screenshot.png, and that sits in our child theme folder. And WordPress picks that up and shows it to us in the theme selection page. So at this point, we have our child theme activated, but it looks and behaves exactly as the parent theme. And that's not really the point of the child theme. We want to be able to override some of the styles. So now what? What can we do now that we have full control over our code and we're not going to worry about losing our changes when there's an update? We can start with basic style changes, such as adding a background image to the bottom of our post. We can change font color or sizes, basic CSS. At this point, this is what my child theme looks like. I've changed the font color in the sidebar, and I've added an image, but it's actually below the screenshot here, but minor CSS changes. One thing to note, your dev tools and inspecting the element are going to be really handy in locating the style that you want to override, because you might run into needing to use the important tag, I don't know if that's the right word, but in order to override the styles in your parent theme. So beyond just a little basic CSS styles, we can get a little bit fancier. I decided I wanted to bring in a couple Google fonts. And to do that, we go back to our main function, and we need to enqueue those Google fonts so that we have them available and we can use them in our style sheet.
Question.
Yeah.
So if you put the fonts in your function file, will they override any that are called in the function file, or are they in addition to the ones that are coming in?
So what this function does is actually gets.
Because I know on mine, I have fonts coming that way from Google. I just don't know, is it in addition to, or will my function override that?
It's in addition to.
It's in addition to, okay.
Yeah. So at this point, you can see I've styled the heading and the body font. In addition to making style changes, we can make function changes. And so I decided that I wanted to change the featured, where it says featured on the sticky templates. And so how I started to make this change, I inspected the element so that I could see what markup was being generated, so that I could find where in the parent theme it was being generated. So I started by noticing that, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a span with a class of sticky post on it. So I went to my parent theme and did a search within the directory for that class so I could find where it's being generated. And it just helps to understand how your theme is working so you can find what part to override. So I discovered that that bit is coming from a template tag.php file. And here you can see the span with the featured. And again, just so that I understood how my theme was working, I did another search for the name of the function that was pulling in or outputting the span with the word featured in it. You don't have to completely understand how your parent theme is working, but I find it's helpful, and not every theme is going to work the same way. So it's helpful to know how to track down where your code's being generated. So I copied that function out of my parent theme, and I pasted it into my child theme functions.php. And if you notice, it actually says before the function, if the function doesn't exist, to create that function. And that's to prevent conflicts with the parent theme. Lastly, I had to enqueue the FunAwesome icon style sheet. And if you're not familiar with FunAwesome, it's a font, and it's all icons. So it's really, I use it a lot in UI and design. And then where it had said featured, I put in the markup for my icon. So if I refreshed my child theme, I now have a star where it said featured. Another thing that we can do with child themes is make changes to the templates. In my case, I wanted to add a banner image above the main content column. So I first started by figuring out where I wanted that change. I looked at the templates that came with my parent theme and where I want to put my new code. In this case, I decided I want it in the header.php file. And then next, I copied the header.php file out of my parent theme and into my child theme. And that's going to cause WordPress to use my child theme template instead of my parent theme. And we leave the name the way it is, but at that point we can edit as much as we want. So I added an image at the bottom of my header tag. I'm sorry, the header template. So we can edit templates, we can edit functions, we can change styles. We can actually add our own templates by leveraging the WordPress template hierarchy. So if our parent theme doesn't give us a template for a certain category archive, for instance, we can create that template within our child theme. And a few things to keep in mind when you're editing your child theme. It can get a little confusing when you're trying to locate something that's in your parent theme versus in your child theme. So get style sheet directory will reference your parent theme directory, and get template directory will refer to your child theme directory. I sometimes switch those and expect that get style sheet directory is going to refer to my child theme, but it's actually the parent theme. So when we're looking at themes to select one as the parent, we need to consider our needs and consider so for instance, if we're looking for a theme that has BuddyPress support for it, but we don't really like the layout and we need to override almost every file that they give us, that's probably not a good using a child theme in that situation is probably not the best solution. So just keep in mind what it is you're trying to do. And remember that if you have to override many of the parent themes templates, that maybe you need a custom theme instead of a child theme. So I hope this presentation has helped to understand what you can do with a child theme, how you might customize your own sites, and help you get into theme development a little further. Thank you. Yes.
I just recently finally got my first child theme to work, except it still didn't come out the way I wanted to. Basically, I have a theme, and what I wanted to do was get some JavaScript in there so that the copyright date changes automatically every year. I used to be able to do this in HTML without even thinking twice. This has turned out to be a major
it overrode, it completely changed the footer to just something about the line I had with the copyright date and nothing else, all the other stuff I wanted in there. So I realize you can't, unless you see the example, you don't know what I'm talking about. But the idea I have is, how do you know how many different pieces and parts do you need to change to make any given change? How do you figure, it's part of the architecture of WordPress. This is where I'm still struggling from a grassroots perspective. I don't know the bigger picture. So if you're messing with a footer, should I be...
I would look directly at the footer.php file. And you said it does already have a copyright date in it?
No, it has no.
It doesn't?
There's nothing. I mean, it was what was there with the standard theme.
Okay.
Which was, they had hard-coded. Yeah, some themes, like, I use Themify.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have this function in it. Other places you get themes don't have this built in. So my problem is I like to stay with Themify. I don't want to around because it needs order consistency. I have to run these sales. So just in general, I just didn't know if you had any, I don't know if you learned the hard way or someone taught you, but how do you know all the pieces and parts that have, given any piece you want to change on a site, how do you figure out all the pieces and parts that have to change in a child theme to do that? Like, if you want to change the footer, you have to do footer.php, plus do you have to repeat that part of the style sheet in your child theme, keep it the same?
It depends, yeah.
Never put that in. My favorite answer. I give that answer a lot myself, don't worry.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Does anyone else have a question? Yeah.
What theme frameworks do you like to use as a parent theme? Like, what are your favorites and why?
I've used the 20 whatever default themes. Usually I'll start there.
Okay.
But it really, again, it depends on what the project needs are. Matt.
Yes.
Sorry,
Can
there's
you
Rami
have
too.
a child of a child theme?
No, you cannot. Thank you for asking that. No, the question was, can you make a child theme of a child theme? There are no grandchildren themes, only child themes. Yes, Rami.
Let's say, hypothetically, you lived in a world where there's, I don't know, like a large amount of marketplaces that offer themes of varying quality. Some that might be best if they didn't exist. Could you perhaps explain, in your experience, what some of the caveats are of bad themes and how they affect both theme development?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that very last part.
When you've worked with one or more bad themes, those that don't adhere to the template hierarchy or coding standards for WordPress themes in general, how, in your experience, has that affected theme development? You can name some common problems across that sort of stuff.
That's something I would have to think about. But I could see, and in my own experience, just in beginning to learn theme development, if you choose a bad theme, you might learn the wrong practices. That's unfortunate, but can happen. Yeah.
Besides the codex, where do you find some of your practices, like best practices with, so to speak? Or where have you been able to find that list? So that way you know to fall back on, should I be doing this or should I not be doing this?
Some of the better WordPress blogs, like WP Beginner, CSS Tricks has WordPress guides. Well, thank you.